Hey, I get it. Standing in the electronics aisle, staring at that massive 75-inch screen and a sleek soundbar, you start wondering if you're about to create a home theater masterpiece or just end up with a pricey eyesore. You've probably asked yourself, will this really make my movie nights feel like a cinema? Will the sound actually fill a big living room without shaking the picture frame? That hesitation is real, and it's why I wanted to walk through the Samsung 75-inch Neo QLED 8K TV paired with the HWQS700F Q-Series soundbar before you hit Add to Cart. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, let's talk about the TV side of the bundle. Samsung's 2025 Neo QLED model is pushing 8K resolution, which sounds impressive on paper, but the real question is whether you'll notice that extra detail in everyday viewing. In my testing, the upscaling is driven by Samsung's AI Gen 3 processor, which leans on 768 neural networks to fill in missing pixels. What that means in practice is that 4K content looks noticeably sharper, edges are crisper, textures feel more defined, and even a standard definition show gets a surprising boost. If you already own a 4K streaming device or a PlayStation 5, you'll see the difference. The TV is doing a lot of heavy lifting to make everything look closer to native 8K. Now, the size. A 75-inch display is a commitment. In a medium-sized living room, about 12 by 15 feet, the picture fills your field of view without you needing to crane your neck. In a smaller space, you might end up with a screen that feels overwhelming, especially if you're sitting closer than 3 times the screen height. The TV's anti-reflection coating does help when you have windows behind you, but it's not a miracle. Bright sunlight will still wash out some of the fine detail. If you spend a lot of time watching in a dimmed room, you'll get the full benefit of the deep blacks that the mini LED backlight delivers. Let's shift to the soundbar, because that's where the bundle really tries to convince you that you're getting a complete home theater upgrade. The HWQS700F is a 3.1.2 channel system, meaning you have 3 front speakers, a dedicated subwoofer, and 2 upframe drivers that aim to bounce sound off the ceiling for a sense of height. In a practical sense, the upframe effect is subtle but noticeable. Dialogue in a dialogue-heavy drama stays centered and clear, while an action sequence with explosions feels like it's happening above and around you. The subwoofer, which can sit flat against a wall or be placed on the floor, delivers a tight low-end punch without the rattling you sometimes hear from cheaper base modules. One of the biggest questions people have is about room size compatibility. The soundbar is calibrated for medium-tonnage rooms, around 200,300 square feet. In a cramped apartment, the bass can feel a bit overbearing, and the height effect may be less pronounced because the ceiling is too low for the reflected sound to develop fully. Conversely, in a spacious living room, you'll appreciate the way the sound fills the space without needing additional rear speakers. The system also includes a wireless connection to the TV, so you're not dealing with a tangle of cables, which is a big win if you prefer a clean wall setup. When it comes to connectivity, the soundbar has HDMI EARC, optical, Bluetooth, and Wi-Fi. I tested streaming a Netflix movie directly from the TV, and the audio stayed perfectly in sync. No lip sync issues that sometimes plague older soundbars. Pairing a Bluetooth speaker for background music was also seamless. The auto-switching feature detected when I changed the source and adjusted the volume levels accordingly. The remote for the soundbar is straightforward, though you'll spend a few seconds learning the sound mode button that toggles between standard, cinema, and music presets. Once you get the hang of it, switching between a quiet TV show and an intense sports game feels natural. Now, let's talk about the practical strengths. The TV's AI upscaling makes lower resolution content look better than you'd expect, and the mini LED panel provides strong contrast, which shines in dark scenes. The anti-glare coating is a plus for daytime viewing. The soundbar's upframe drivers create a convincing height dimension without ceiling speakers, and the wireless subwoofer adds that satisfying rumble you want for action movies. The whole package is designed to work together out of the box. Samsung's ecosystem lets the TV and soundbar share settings, so you don't have to manually calibrate each component. On the flip side, there are some weaknesses to keep in mind. The 8K resolution is still a future-proofing feature more than a current necessity. Most streaming services, even the premium ones, still cap at 4K, so you'll be relying on upscaling most of the time. If you're a hardcore gamer who demands the highest frame rates, The TV's input lag isn't the lowest in its class. Competitive players might prefer a TV with a dedicated gaming mode and lower latency. As for the soundbar, the upframe effect can lose impact in